Hey everybody, it's great to have you here with me today at noon. And today I want to talk to you about perfect peace. How can you experience perfect peace? I'm going to say by Imagineering with God. You say, well, what's Imagineering mean? Well, it's a term coined by the Disney company. And it's they have Imagineers where they create things that have never existed before, and they use their imaginations. They actually hired one of my friends. He was a former member of our church. He was actually hired by Disney as an Imagineer. And they just gave him freedom to imagine things that never existed before. Now, they do this for the purpose of entertainment. But do you know that God gave you your imagination to problem solve and to create things and come up with ideas that have never existed before? God is the creator of the universe. And so he gave you and I an imagination to be able to create with. But you know what else it says in the Bible? That if you use your imagination with God, it would actually produce perfect peace in your life. Did you know that? Listen to this. In Isaiah 26, verse 3 and 4. You will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for in Yah the Lord is everlasting strength. Now here's what's really interesting about this. That word mind there, keep your mind on the Lord, is not the normal Hebrew word for mind. Here it literally means, that Hebrew word means creative imagination, which is the seat of planning and ideas. That scripture literally says the person that keeps their creative imagination on God will have perfect peace. I'm fascinated with inventions. I mean, you think about the airplane, you'll hear some going by here because we're living near an airport, or electricity, or the wheel, or the simple church model, which is causing the gospel to explode all over the earth more than it has in 2,000 years. All of these inventions and ideas and solutions started in someone's imagination. They didn't exist until it spawned in somebody's imagination. And now, why is this important for you? Because God gave you and I an imagination to problem solve, to advance his kingdom, to help solve the world's problems. And but your imagination can work against you. And how's that? Well, when you and I allow fear to be the force that creates things in our imaginations, it works against us, and it works against God, and it works against the world. Well, how's that? Well, for example, like right now, we don't know who our next president is going to be, right? But according to the imagination of people on both sides of the political aisle, whoever becomes our next president is going to be a reincarnation of Hitler. Okay, now that's Imagineering without God. Right? Rather than Imagineering with God, and that is, what if no matter who becomes president, what if you, instead of panicking and being in fear and anxiety and letting your imagination run wild, like if your guy doesn't win and our nation is going down the toilet and you can do nothing about it, how about you Imagineer with God and say, okay, God, what can I think of doing that will be a help to the world? How can I serve you? How can I serve the kingdom? How can I serve the church, no matter who is the president? Because, and you might think, well, I mean, do you think that God's not going to have any ideas for you? You see, the reality is the bigger the problem, the bigger the creative need to solve the problem. So if your God doesn't win and you think, the world's going to hell in a handbasket, hey, that's a great time for you to go to the creator of the universe and say, give me some creative ideas, God, so that we can make a positive difference in the world. And so I want to encourage you, don't live in fear. Don't allow your imagination that God gave to you to go way out into the future and creating these scenarios that you expect to come to pass that are negative. Why not set your imagination on God and experience not only the perfect peace of God, because he's going to be giving you positive scenarios of the future, but also you're going to experience perfect peace in your mind because you're Imagineering with God, not without God. Okay? All right. So, Imagineer with God, and I will see you tomorrow.